Now we are going to quickly look at a very big topic now, which says how urine is formed in the body. I told you earlier that that is where we are going to, how urine is formed in the body. Now, the excesses you have in your body, there is a need for it to be removed. And a special organ that does the removal, the function of removing this waste from your body, is the kidney. And this kidney has millions of filtrating tubules in it. Just one kidney here, in a man, you have millions of tubules, filtering tubules in it, which we refer to as the nephron. Now, do not forget, the nephron is the functional unit of the kidney. Just as you have the cell as a functional unit of life, here you have the nephron as the functional unit of the kidney. And every work that happens here, in terms of filtration, in terms of reabsorption, or in terms of removal, secretion, it has to do with the nephron. Now, I've just taken you a step ahead. Now, let me take it back again. Now, there are three stages that are involved in the formation of urine. First, you have what we refer to as ultrafiltration. Ultrafiltration. 2, you have what we call selective reabsorption. Selective reabsorption. I said the first one, ultrafiltration. The second one, selective reabsorption. Then the third one is the one we refer to as hormonal secretion. In some books, you can see it as secretion. That's the urine secretion, the one that the waste product now goes to the external. Number 1, I said ultrafiltration. 2, you have selective reabsorption. And the third one, you have hormonal secretion. Now, how does the nephron that is present in the kidney, how does it do this work? Now, it is also important for me to tell you, scholars, because it is good for my student to move a step ahead too, that there are actually 2 types of nephron. 2 types of nephron. You can just hide this somewhere in your notes. You have the cortical nephron, and you have the juxtamedullary nephron. Now, the cortical nephron is actually shorter. It's actually shorter than the juxtamedullary nephron. Now, the juxta is longer, and this simple explanation I'm going to give now will lead us into how this nephron works. But before that, I need to tell you why this is different from this. The cortical nephron is confined to the cortex. While the juxtamedullary nephron, it extends into the medulla. And once this happens, it allows for more reabsorption of water. And this is found in desert animals. If you have an organism that is in the desert, definitely is going to have its nephron longer. Now, what is the structure of the nephron? If you know the structure, you will know how it functions. So let's look at the structure of the nephron. We've seen the kidney, you've seen the structure of the kidney, and definitely now you know that it filters, it removes waste. It also helps in the osmoregulation of the body, that is the water balance in the body system. Now let's quickly look at the structure of the nephron. And I said the nephron is the what? Is the functional unit of the kidney. The nephron is the functional unit of the kidney. Do not forget that I said you have two types of nephron. You have the cortical nephron as well as the juxtamedullary nephron, which I said is found in desert organisms, so because it has a it has a larger size now. Now, the nephron. Do not be scared about what you see. This is present in you, and this is the nephron. This is the nephron. Now you have okay, I'm going to tell you what all this is about. Now you have this as the afferent arteriole. The afferent arteriole. And this comes from the artery, the renal artery, bringing the blood into the kidney. So once it pumps in with its pressure and it lands here, but it forms a network of capillaries. This network of capillaries now forms together into what we now refer to as the efferent arterioles. Do not confuse it with one another. The efferent arterioles. These efferent arterioles now builds a kind of network around the nephron. So this network that is being built around the nephron is where the reabsorptions and the absorptions take place in the kidney. Now we are looking at the nephron, in the nephron. Now this is the Bowman's capsule. Now this network that I just talked about, this network, it now forms what we refer to as the glomerulus. The glomerulus. So that glomerulus. So this too, you can refer to it as the renal corpuscles. The renal corpuscles. Okay? Okay. So now, here, you refer to this as the proximal, please take note of this, proximal convoluted tubule. This is the proximal convoluted tubule. Do not worry. You'll get hold of all these in terms of recalls. Now here is your loop of Henle. Loop of Henle, or Henle's loop. Loop of Henle. And here you have your distal convoluted tubule. Distal convoluted tubule. Now this is the collecting duct. Here you have the collecting duct, and here is the papillae that empties into the pelvis that we talked about. The right, it's from the pelvis. You have it emptying into the ureter. That is from the ureter. It stores in the bladder, and from the bladder you can excrete, and you take it out through the urethra. Do not confuse this. Urethra. Urethra is the opening to the outside, while the ureter is present as a compartment of the kidney, the extension. Okay. Now, let's now see how this filters and this takes in materials, filters it, and you have your urine being formed. Now, when the deaths, or let me say the waste materials present in your blood from your metabolic activities, when they get to this place, there is what we call ultrafiltration at this point. This sieve, let me call it a sieve now, will only take out the small particles, the small molecules. The large molecules of your cell, of your blood cells, they are not going to be filtered along. But the molecules of your calcium, your sodium, they will be filtered along here. And once it filters, it goes down. It goes down out from the Bowman's, the renal corpuscle. You have it down, going through into the proximal convoluted tubule. It is at this proximal convoluted tubule that you will now have reabsorption. Now, know that the ultrafiltration process has been taken care of by the renal corpuscles. Now, the materials go into the proximal convoluted tubule, and absorption is taking place already now. Now, this absorption, the absorption is taking place in terms of ions, excess water. Now, the brain, pituitary gland, signals to the kidney that, Mr. Kidney, you do not have to allow excess water to leave the body. Then it sends signal and sends an hormone to do that work. Then that hormone is the hormone we refer to as your ADH, anti-diuretic hormone. ADH, the antidiuretic hormone, is the hormone responsible for this selective reabsorption. Then the selective reabsorption takes place here, and you have the materials going in. Do not forget that I said that this efferent artery builds a complex around this nephron, and it is from this complex that the reabsorption takes place. Now, after it goes down into the loop of Henle, here you can have it being concentrated with NaCl. Concentrated with NaCl, and I'm not saying that you should taste your urine, but with the NaCl, you know that's going to be salty. Now, that's where this comes in. Definitely, there's going to be reabsorption too here, and as it moves up, this place is narrower. Just simple physics. This particular loop of Henle going up is narrower, but now this is where the distinction between cortical nephron and juxtamedullary nephron comes in play. The loop of Henle in cortical nephron stays in the cortex, while the loop of Henle in the juxtamedullary, it extends into the medulla. Now, when the materials go up, they can also be reabsorbed if the excesses are needed in the body system. They can also be reabsorbed in this distal convoluted tubule. Then it enters into the collecting duct, and there you have your hormonal secretion as it empties into the pelvis. It empties into the pelvis, and from the pelvis you can it can be stored in the bladder. It can be stored in the bladder, and once it is stored and it has reached a peak or threshold, then you have it emptying out of the body system to the environment, and you have it emptying through the urethra. Now, this is how urine is formed in your body. So this is how urine is formed in your body, and you excrete this out, pass it out as a waste material, and this is important for us to look at, as this is for urea. I know that you are going to contact us again, because I know you had a very interesting class, and I'm looking forward to seeing your questions and your suggestions, as well as ways for us to improve our network to you. So the number scrolling on your screen, you can contact us, send your email. You can contact us on WhatsApp, and we'll be glad to give you a very good feedback. My name again is Alonge Toru Charles, your biology tutor. Have a nice day.